Hi, everyone, and welcome to the special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and celebrity interviews live from the Grotto with Greg Hanna. Greg, what's going on, man? How are you?
I am beside myself with excitement because we're going to talk to one of my absolute favorite actors ever, Flash Gordon.
Absolutely. So, again, Sam Jones, Flash Gordon. Sam, when we talked the last time, welcome to the show. When we talked the last time, you know what blew me away was ultimately how of a humble man you are. But really, I wish I could have had about 52 stories of watching Flash Gordon because I literally watched it maybe 20 or 25 times the movie. And there's not many movies in my life that I watched that many times. Why do you think so many people watch your movie over and over again?
Well, first of all, guys, thank you for having me. Well, I think the question is, yes, it's a great point. It's why is Flash Gordon still relevant? I mean, we filmed this 40, what is it, 43 years ago, came out 42 years ago. I think he's relevant because he's just a guy. So the world, every man, woman, and child, they'll look at this character, Flash Gordon, and go, wait a minute. Oh my gosh, these challenges. He's faced with adversity. Oh, he's vulnerable. How's he going to do it? He has no superpowers. And then he comes in, he helps, he defends innocence. He neutralizes the threat and or brings them to justice. So I think they say, well, wait a minute, he's doing this. He's just a guy, he has no superpowers. If he can do that, then by golly, I can do it too. And I think that's why he's relevant. And I think that's the message. And yes.
Totally love that. I mean, it's like, just like you said, it's like the underdog winning. And that just makes everybody feel great. You know, one of the favorite ones I loved, later James Bond, that you had fought James Bond, Timothy Dalton, as the prince. And that was an amazing fight, with the tilting, little platter that you guys were on. Yeah. And what was that scene like doing that? I mean, how did they do that? It looks like it was real, but I mean, you just standing in a green screen, or how did they do that?
No, we had blue screen back then, but there was really that was the battle disc. It was a rotating disc, and when it was elevated in its highest elevation, I think it was about 25 feet. Wow. So what you saw when the camera looked down, you saw infinity, space, but we had just a bunch of stacked boxes, and when we fell quite a bit. We fell onto these stacked boxes, which was quite funny, but it actually worked. Remember, we're going back to 1979. But yeah, we had three technicians. We had two operating the spikes, two different sections of spikes. And then, of course, we had the other technician operating the tilt of the battle disc. So yeah. it wasn't so much that we rehearsed it for weeks, but if we had rolled and tumbled onto the spikes, of course, we wouldn't have been hurt because they were it was an ingenious idea. It was bicycle pumps that they used for the shaft. Yeah. Hollow bicycle pumps, this metal, and the tips of the spikes were a hard rubber. So if we had rolled on it, then we'd have to stop production and repair it. So, yeah. But Timothy was great. James Bond, he wasn't James Bond then, of course.
Nope.
But we had that great chemistry and camaraderie and conflict of being representing England, and he and then of course me representing America. So we brought a lot of that good history into it, and just had a lot of fun.
Oh, that was great.
It definitely does. And I said I have so many favorite scenes of the movie, but what about for the time you shot it and how Greg and I love it so much? You said the ordinary that you did it, you were able to do it, Sam, just out of nowhere, meaning that you were just a guy. I think that's one reason, but I also think that science fiction at that time and just the different things and how you were able to save the world and how you had so many challenges to try to save that world, right? There's so many, you just did it. Kind of like how we had to get on Zoom right now. There was complications, but you saved it. You saved yourself. Yeah. That's the character, Flash Gordon. And I think that he is the only superhero I've ever, I guess, have dealt with that really had no superpowers and yet could be able to save the world, the athlete, the football star, and how he thought he could conquer everything, and he had to figure everything out and had to ask for other people's help. It wasn't just, and that's the other part of being a leader. Leadership is what Flash Gordon is as well, how he was able to become a leader to save the world.
Yeah, absolutely, Neil. I just think it came down to, of course, I got the part also because there was a naivete about Sam J. Jones in those years, 22 years old, 23, and of course for Flash Gordon. And when it came to somebody in trouble, even Sam J. Jones or Flash Gordon, we don't call board meetings if somebody's getting attacked right now. We don't call the board meeting and call in advisors. We unless we have time to plan. Usually, Flash Gordon didn't have a whole lot of time to plan, so we just reacted. So his character just reacted, and I think that's the other message he sends. If something is happening right now, and there's no time to plan, you gotta go with your best instincts, and usually the best instincts is common sense, practical thinking. That's it. And if you have the time to plan, you call in your advisors and you seek counsel on any issue. Yeah, absolutely.
That's so true. I mean, be flexible, adapt, and overcome. I mean, I think those are the traits of any person who's getting through life well, or an entrepreneur, business owner, a leader, yourself, an author. I see you as an entrepreneur as well.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, certainly with your new comic book, or what do they call them? Graphic novels now. I'm not sure what to call it, but
yeah, thanks. I'm so excited. I collaborated with Rob Archie, writer and artist, and then of course Joe Archie as well. And this is my first comic book, aka it's a graphic novel. So what's the simple definition of a graphic novel? This is a 54-page comic book, guys, and the title is called Sam J. Jones Saves the Galaxy. Okay, which I love. I absolutely love. So I mean, and what we do, we talked to the fans before we did the launch, and they said, "Hey, we're thinking about just doing, all these Comic Cons I do. I talk to a lot of them on almost every weekend. If I'm available, I'm doing a Comic Con." And they wanted to come on board. They said, "No, you need to do. You needed us. You needed us to come on board." And we said, "Well, what do you think?" Well, Indiegogo, because they want ownership. They want a part. They use the word backers. I like the word partnerships. So we decided, based on what they wanted and their ownership, we decided to launch a couple days ago. Just Indiegogo. Sam J. Jones Saves the Galaxy, and right now, the first 2 days, I think we're day 3 or 4. We're almost there at the goal, and it's incredible, and it's very, very exciting.
It's amazing.
Wow. And so was this the first time you ever tried to do something like this, raise money like this?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's my very first comic book. So and Rob Archie is super talented, Joe Archie as well. This is their core competency. I just came on board, and we got the outline, the script, and all that, and we just went back and forth. And Rob really pressed in on the story, and I love it because it's the same thing we discussed before. It's action adventure, it's sci-fi, and anything, and it's family friendly. It's got the edge now. It's got the serious edge to it, but it's for everybody. But anything can happen because, again, in this story, Sam J. Jones, is vulnerable. He's vulnerable because there are no superpowers. There's no superpowers. So he has to depend on his wit and his athleticism. That's it. So we're very excited, and the way it's going right now on this launch at Indiegogo, Sam J. Jones Saves the Galaxy. We're probably a couple of weeks away from going to print. So get ready to receive your copies, guys.
I'm excited. Hey, as long as it's signed, that'll be great. I'll send you a copy of my book signed, and you can send me a comic book. I'll be so excited.
Yeah.
But I have a quick question to ask you. When you're talking to your fans, I know, just going to step back a sec to Flash Gordon. When you're talking to fans, especially maybe younger ones, do they get Flash Gordon and the Flash, DC confused?
Yeah, it's funny. John Wesley, who played the Flash, we appear quite a few. I've seen him maybe 5, 6 times at the Comic Cons, and I always ask the promoter, put our tables next to each other so we can have some fun. Okay, so I'll get some younger kids who can't really discern, or they haven't really. They're so young, they haven't figured out the difference between the Flash or Flash Gordon, and they'll bring the Flash action figure up to my table and ask me to sign. I said, no, you need to take that to John. He's the Flash. I'm Flash Gordon. No, Mr. Jones, I want you to sign it. I said, I can't have him sign. And then also, when John gets up from his table, I will actually go and sit in his chair, just as the practical joker that
that's great.
Totally. Let's jump into specifically the whole thing of your character, Sam J. Jones, versus Flash Gordon. Now you're both superheroes. What's the difference between the two, especially so we can learn more about the characters coming out with the graphic novel?
Well, yeah, you're talking about the what's different about the character Sam J. Jones in the comic book and Flash
Gordon.
Well, guys, no shocker. Okay, I say this a lot. It's so uncanny. It's so crazy how Sam J. Jones, the person, and Flash Gordon, the similarities are almost perfect. It's frightening. From way back to 1979, even to now. Remember, I was a Marine. I became a Marine at the age of 17. So I've been a Marine in my mind still for 51 years. So I bring the military background. I bring the Southern country roots of Florida, Tennessee in my very early years. And then, of course, California has been all those other years. And Flash Gordon, okay. And of course, I'm sorry, I played Marine Corps football, Sam J. Jones. So Flash Gordon, Flash Gordon, quarterback, New York Jets, and Sam J. Jones, Marine Corps football, with the military background and who I am as a Southern country boy, with a little bit of that yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, that upbringing, and Flash Gordon with his upbringing, not much of a difference, guys. It's remarkable. It really is.
That's amazing. That's so good. Now, I know you're just getting this to print, the new comic book. Do you have thoughts of having a series? You going to wait and see how it is, or do you have the next one lined up?
Yeah, so I'm in the I talked 2-3 years ago. I talked to Mark Millar, who did all these incredible comic books that went to movies. Kick A. I don't know if I can say the A word on here, but one was Kick A. And can I say the A word or not?
No, go ahead.
Okay. And then, of course, oh God, I threw myself off on the rabbit trail. And his famous the Kingsman and all that. I mean, it's just incredible. And so he gave me some good advice. Just make it real. Bring your passion and the people that come on board. But again, Rob Archie, when he approached me on this and said, I got this great idea. I first met him at a Comic-Con, and he had a painting of Captain America and 2 small paintings and a painting of Wonder Woman. And I bought those paintings from him, and then we got to know each other. And he said, Sam, I think it's time. You need to do a Sam J. Jones comic book. There's a lot of many Flash Gordon comic books, and I'm very happy I have a huge collection personally, not just comic books. I have a huge extensive Flash Gordon collection, and comic books are part of that. But when he said the Sam J. Jones, and then when we came up with the title, it was his idea, and I said, wow, Sam J. Jones saves the galaxy. I thought, well, yeah, I mean, it's appropriate. It's a great story in the comic book. I'm vulnerable. You don't know. Could I? Yeah, I could get hurt. Maybe I do get really hurt. Maybe I almost die because, again, there's no superpowers here. But it's funny. Let me just bring this in about superpowers. Stan Lee, bless his heart, he and I went back and forth for years in a good way. He was such a cool guy. But when we did my documentary called Life After Flash, we interviewed him. And this is Stan Lee. This is his famous quote. You can't be a superhero unless you have superpowers. So he said, and I think the producer and the director said, wait a minute, but Sam J. Jones, okay, he's a Flash Gordon is a superhero. Well, yeah, there might be a couple of different exceptions, but in reality, you can't be a superhero unless you have superpowers. That's Stan Lee quoting. But I wanted to say, Stan, I went to tell him afterwards, but of course he passed on. I wanted to say, but Stan Lee, the very first superhero before any of them, Buck Rogers, 1933, and then 8 months later, in January of 1934, Flash Gordon. Both of these superheroes, no superpowers, and they were the model, okay? They were the mold and the model to copy after that. So I just wanted to say that to Stan.
Most
that's
definitely.
That's really great. And then they had the Buck Rogers out around the same time that you had your show out, right?
Yeah. What? No, let me see. Did the movie or
No, they did a series.
It was a series.
That was my favorite.
Yeah,
series.
that came out. That came out later, right? In the early 80s.
That was
Who
early
was the
80s.
star- Who was the star of the Buck Rogers thing, Sam?
Well, that's Gil Gerard and Aaron Gray and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I was a huge fan of Buck Rogers. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he was wonderful. But I fortunately, Dino De Laurentiis brought in Buster Crabbe, the original Flash Gordon, to help promote our movie. 2 weeks, so it would have been 2 weeks before Christmas 1980, and he helped us promote that, which was incredible.
Wow,
really amazing.
All right,
And he was also the first Flash Gordon. He was the first Buck Rogers. He was the first Captain Gallant. He was the first gold medalist. He was the first swimmer and medalist. And that's Buster Crabbe. Okay.
Wow.
All right. So now I'm pulling up. This is definitely a real opportunity, as I'm talking real shorts, all the different things I like to do with celebrities. And I'm looking at the different clips of Flash Gordon as I'm pulling these up. Again, the football scene was amazing. I love the crashing the wedding. I'm bringing up all the favorite scenes as I'm trying to remember them now, Greg. Then there's the to the death. That was another amazing scene. I'm just Googling right now. Yeah. And the deadly ritual. Let's go to the deadly ritual. Oh my gosh, Sam. That one freaked me out. Greg, I don't know if you, and I'm sure Sam can tell us the story again and you'll remember exactly. Man, I was so scared for you because remember, I was 6 years old when this movie came out. So I was so scared for you because I'm like, oh no, what's going to happen to you with the deadly ritual? Are you going to survive this? And how lucky you were to survive it.
Yeah, I love that vernacular. I've never heard it, but you're talking about reaching my hand into the wood where the wood beast was.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny. I've never heard that description called the deadly ritual, but that's exactly
that's what it's Googling, and it's Googling it right now on YouTube.
That's amazing. Yeah. No, I've had men come to my table in their mid to late 40s, early 50s, and say, "You traumatized my entire childhood." I said, "Wait a minute, what did I do? What did I do?" He said, "Yeah, you put your arm down that tree trunk where the wood beast was, and I had crazy nightmares." I said, "Well, are the nightmares over now?" "Yes, now that I met you, it's over." Okay, okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, I was just an actor. But what happened during that scene, which was crazy, because we were jumping around from sound stage to sound stage in London, and that was on the set of Arboria. Yeah, Arboria, big $1 million set in 1979, if you could believe that. And so I asked the prop guys, the lights have been out for 2 weeks, and we just came in and they started to light it and all that. And we came in for a quick rehearsal. And I turned to the prop guys. I said, "Hey, have you shined a flashlight down the tree trunk?" And he looked at me and went, "No, I haven't. Okay. So when we filmed that, I decided not to shine a flashlight. God forbid there was a snake or something in there for real, just to feed off of that reaction. That in reality, the soundstage lights have been out. No one's really checked. I'm sure he did, but he just wanted to communicate that to me to probably get me in character. And I decided to go with it. And that was, there could have been something in there. Okay.
Wow, that's great. So nobody tricked you. Nobody like filled it with shaving cream or put anything in there.
Yeah. Oh,
to jump
yeah.
out at you.
Yeah. But the trick was the way he responded.
Oh boy, yeah.
No, I haven't checked in there. Okay.
That's a mind game for
man.
sure.
So I'll definitely have to check that scene out and check that out on YouTube. But Greg has his favorite question he likes to ask all the guests, unless you have another question for Sam before that. What is the question, Greg?
Yeah, no, this is it. Let's get right to it. So this is for me personally and for everyone who listens to my podcast. You know, Sam, what is it that you feel is the most important thing in life that you've ever learned?
Oh, God, bring it down to one. Just, Max von Sydow, people before him, people that I trusted my life when I was young, said, really you need to be an excellent listener in life. And it took me, it took me a lot of years. I've been married to Ramona for 31 years. So with her, I probably became an excellent listener probably 3 years ago. Okay. I'm a work in progress, but yeah, just be an excellent listener. And we have to add this last couple of years of COVID, we're human beings. We're not designed for isolation. We are designed for community. We're having a community here. Yeah, it's over the Zoom, the video and all that. But there's nothing like getting out and just a community. So with COVID and being sort of isolated, and now we've received the announcement. Okay, you can leave your house now. You can go outside, go to the Comic-Con, go to the store, say hi to people. This is what we need. And during this time of COVID, even when it was first opened and we got out there, I think we were so oversensitive and so easily offended. So I'd say, number one, be an excellent listener. Don't get so easily offended. People are hurting. We don't know if that person that just verbally abused you, we don't know if he just lost a family member or lost his wife or something. We have no idea. So be an excellent listener. Don't be so easily offended, and just smile, because if you smile and laugh, you're going to make other people do it. Just enjoy life. Yeah, those three things: be an excellent listener, and smile. Don't be easily offended, and cause other people to smile and laugh too. It makes a huge difference.
That's
Right.
great. Thank you.
Fantastic stuff. Where is the best place we can learn more about you and purchase the comic book? Where can we go?
Yeah, it's so simple, guys. Are you ready? It's so simple. You don't even need to write it down. Just go to Google and type in Indiegogo Sam J. Jones Saves the Galaxy. And then type in Indiegogo Sam J. Jones Saves the Galaxy. And there's 5 tiers that Joe Archie put up. Really cool. And the 5th tier is the big commander one. And you get all the art, you get all the comic book, all these perks. And for the big, you get a private one-on-one. This is right. A private one-on-one meal with yours truly, Sam J. Jones. So you say to yourself, well, how am I going to have a private meal with Sam J. Jones? Well, you go there, you work it out with Joe. I live in San Diego, of course, you're not coming to my house. Okay. If you do, we'll have a lot of surprises for you. Okay. Remember, I'm a Marine and a security guy too. But if you happen to be in the San Diego area, that's where I live, then of course you work that out with Joe. We'll meet at a cool restaurant. And then Joe's posting my Comic-Con schedule. So this is cool. Let's say all you listeners in New York, I'm even going overseas in Vienna, New York, Texas, whatever. You look at my schedule, you talk to Joe. I think the schedule's already posted. And I'm calling it the Sam J. Jones 2023 comic book tour. That's what it is. It's the Sam J. Jones 2023 comic book tour. You'll look at that tour schedule and say, wait a minute, Sam, you're going to be in Jersey. You're going to be in Texas for this Comic Con, this tour. Well, I'm going to be there. So we can work it out there. We can work it out there. And we're going to make it easy. We're going to make it easy and oversimplify everything for everybody.
All right. This is great stuff. We appreciate it. Thanks again. And Greg, whoa, well, that was fun. Appreciate it, guys. All right. That was Celebrity Interviews
Take
live
care.
from the Grotto with Greg Hanna. Guys, take care.